Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah.
Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too.
Salutations, Stufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, getting to know amazing people from around the world, having some of the best conversations of my life has been such an exhilarating experience. And today I have another one for you. This young man is the owner and the creator of the world's largest and first LGBTQ exclusive talent agency and production company. He is also certified as an LGBTQ business enterprise by, here we go, many different hashtags there, so we'll talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me introduce Miko Evans, known as Meek of Meek Productions Incorporated.
Baby, that was an excellent intro.
Thank you.
And even if I do say so myself on it.
Well, you've been in media a long time, longer than I have, so I take it from you. If you say it was good, then it was good because you've been around. How you doing today?
Baby, I am so awesome right now. I am so excited right now. I'm doing fabulously well. All praise and honor to the creator of the Omniverse for it. And I've been excited and waiting on this conversation ever since you first sent the invitation. I'm like, baby, for those people that are watching, the doors of the church is now open.
What you say before we even do say or do anything? Y'all just come get saved now.
Yeah, oh baby. The doors of the church is open, sweetheart. Get ready to get your deliverance.
Yes, I agree. I agree because the funny thing is I came across you years ago before I even had my growth and development and became the Queen of Shade because, I have this little hobby where I serve snacks on my page. And those snacks are usually chocolate, but we also fit in a little cinnamon for our Latin brothers, and we spice it up. But you have been representing talent and doing different things, especially in the LGBTQ IAP plus community, for such a long time that we just kind of crossed paths, and I never let you go. It was always something to see on your page. It was always something to read. It was always an article. It was always something that pertained to us as a community. And that always uplifted me because when I started, even before the Queen of Shade, when I started my own business, my own small media company, my objective was not to reach the world. My objective was, this is a gay-owned, gay operated, and gay serviced organization. I felt like I didn't need to go outside of the community because I felt like for so long, okay, so here's background. I've been in entertainment for 20 years.
Yes.
I started.
I've been following you.
Okay. Okay. So the rigors and the unfair hurdles that are placed in a talent's way if they happen to be of the, like my boyfriend says, the alphabet mafia persuasion.
That part.
And
I'm glad you said the mafia part too, because we're going to get into that in a minute.
Yeah, because they make us go through so much out there. They strip us of our self-esteem. They basically break us down until we're nothing. And then they want us to keep doing that one trick over and over and over again. And then once that trick has served its purpose and made them money, then they discard us. And then here we are back living in the hood where we started, where we came from, and now in
Mm-hmm.
the suburbs where we dreamed about living.
Yep.
That kind of lifestyle did not appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I recognized early in Paris where I was modeling. I had to throw a little shade last night because I got these villains in Hollywood that have been tampering and campaigning to end me for 16 years now.
Child, please.
And
Nope.
recently, one of them had, what was it, a television appearance or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I first saw the advertisement, and I said, "Okay, all right,
Mm-hmm.
promoting your brand. Okay, that's fine."
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought about it. You know how they say, "I thought to do right, but then I chose violence." I thought to do right. I tried. God knows I tried.
Yeah, Lord,
And I
let me
failed.
not into temptation, but sometimes.
And I failed, but I'm human. I failed. So last night I had to let these people know. I said, "Listen here. Your stylist put together one outfit for you to make one television appearance, and you think you did something." I said, "Sweetheart, I talked color blocking and fabrics backstage with top designers in the presence of the late Andre Leon Talley, sipping champagne 20 years ago. Don't come for me."
No, that part. In other words, I've been on.
Okay, so I just had to. I said it was so funny because I hashtag light flex, but then I hashtag but crushing all of your feelings.
Okay.
But it's the reason why I brought that up is because it's sad when one of ours gets on their stages, because then they go about the business of terrorizing their own community because they don't want you to rise up and take their spot.
Wow.
And that was the whole 16 years of this mess. That was the whole premise. This bitch got on with the straight folk.
Yep.
And saw in me all this greatness and did not want me to come along and take his or her, because she's in between, spot. And I'm like, "Baby, I never wanted your spot. From the beginning, I was here to create my own." But did all kinds of stuff, computers and hacking phones and just doing all kinds of stuff. Sending people to my residence, just doing all kinds. Yes, just doing all kinds.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now.
Yes.
Let's back up a little bit now.
Come on.
Let's back up now. Sending people to your residence, that's very dangerous. Because I don't know what folks think that they got the right to do that. I mean, that's kind of stupid.
Get it? It was a scare tactic. And they learned very quickly, you don't know what I got in my house.
All of that.
You don't know what I got in my house.
Child. These
and I'm gonna say this. If you get in my house, you're not leaving.
That part.
No.
And you better hope they find
you,
the resident.
Yeah.
You better hope they find the residue.
The reason why I'm saying all of this is because you have the first agency geared and dedicated to helping the community. Literally, you are giving opportunity after opportunity, because I see all the gatherings, I see the flyers, I see all of these opportunity after opportunity after opportunity for people that look and sound like us. And that is a huge, huge thing, because we ain't getting no help out there. We have to create our own.
Absolutely.
Look, all this talent out there, and we only have one Lil Nas X, one Saucy Santana, one Frank Ocean, one. But y'all got a whole plethora of different singers with different genres and different this and different that. And the only stipulation to get in is you have to be straight.
Yep. Because see, look at what our Ivory brothers and sisters had to go through, going all the way back to Elton John.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, go back before him. Let's go all the way back to the father
Yeah.
of queer music, Brother Sylvester James. Let's go back
Yeah.
to the godfather of queer music. Let's go back to him. I
Yeah.
mean, he way before RuPaul was even thought about. I
Yeah.
said, let's go back to Sylvester James when he, in the midst of us still struggling to
Yeah.
fight for our human rights,
Human.
for our existence to just live. You know what I'm saying? And this was right after Stonewall.
Yeah.
So look at what he went through
Yeah.
and how he led the charge
Yeah.
for other LGBT people of all colors and creeds to actually try to step out. You see what I'm saying? Even though it was still difficult.
Yeah.
Regardless of the culture of the race you represent, it was still difficult for him
Yeah.
to still be himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the reasons why I created the vision, because back in 2003, next year will be our 20th conceptual anniversary. And so next, yeah, we're planning a whole lot of stuff. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I created it because during that year, my high school classmate had just recently came out a few years before we reconnected.
Yeah.
And she was getting ready to do something or a project or program for the LGBTQ community down here in the ATL at that time.
Right.
And so she asked me, she said, Miko, I got a booth space at Atlanta Black Pride this year. You want to share it with me? I said, I would love to. I said, because I got some things I want to do for the community as well. This was way before the existence of this concept.
Right.
I was still working my other business. I've been an entrepreneur for 27 years.
Right.
And so I was still working my other entrepreneurial consulting business, formerly known as MAE and Associates.
Right.
And so when I was doing that, I was thinking about some things. And I was coming from the store one day. This was after days after talking with her. And I was coming from the store one day. And as I walked through the gate of my apartment complex, and I was still wondering, I said, what is it that I can present, how I can get my stuff together? Yeah. And immediately the divine source said, why not create the world's first LGBTQ exclusive talent agency? I almost fell to the ground. I couldn't get in the house fast enough to write it down. And that's why when I tell people about this vision, I said, this vision is going to outlast me. Yeah. I said, I knew from the minute it came from divine source, I knew what time it was. Yeah. I knew, I just knew how much of a blessing it was going to be to our community. Yeah. I knew how much of a blessing it was also going to be for even our allies who want to actually support and assist us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because a lot of people don't even talk about the hell that some of them going through just for standing with us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and so I knew that it was going to be a blessing and stuff. Back then, I was very naive because I did not know. Because keep in mind, when you're young, you're naive, you're just coming out and all of that stuff. You know, when they say LGBTQ community, you're thinking that it's truly a community.
Right.
What I had to really, really realize, that's why I'm glad that your boyfriend said the alphabet mafia. Yeah. What I really began to realize is that it's one thing to be a part of the community, but it's another thing to do business in the LGBTQ plus community. I said, it's another thing when you start trying to go mainstream. It's another thing when you try to go to that next level. And one of the biggest mistakes I feel as LGBTQ people overall, one of the biggest mistakes that I think that we've made is that we're so busy trying to be accepted by everybody else, we forgot to accept ourselves. We forgot to support and love each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, I see, just like you got sellouts in the Black community and in every other marginalized community, you got sellouts in our LGBTQ plus community too. Now tell the truth and shame that devil.
I was going to say, there you have it. There you have it. There you have it.
You know, I mean, I can count the ways as how many times, you know, people have had or producers or filmmakers and stuff that just independent, you know, in the local area that know who we are. Yeah. Know who I am.
Know how talented.
Not one time have they called us. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll see across the social media and stuff that is a casting call here, a casting call there. Not one time have they hit us up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to work on the player hating within our own community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We still have to work on even though Meat Productions was created for the entire LGBTQ diaspora.
Right.
regardless of what culture you are. Because when we did our first casting call 19 years ago, we
Right.
did it online via MySpace.
Yeah.
And that was our first social media platform. And when we did that, our first 10 that we accepted, what I loved about it, and I knew it was nothing but the divine.
Right.
What I love about it is that every talent that we showcased on our very first marketing campaign
Yeah.
represented not only LGBT, but they represented each culture from our community. White,
Yes.
Black, Latino, Asian,
Yes.
Middle Eastern.
Yes.
So that was off the back. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so as we kept going and growing, I thought really we was on a roll. And of course, with any talent agency, you have to sift the wheat from the tare.
That's
You
true.
have to sift those who are serious versus those who are not.
Right.
And so, you know, we had some came, some left. And like I was telling them a long time ago, we was just getting started. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go back over and look at some of the both the successes and some of the mistakes that were made. And I had to realize, I said, you know what, a lot of people didn't really realize what they were a part of.
Right.
I said the mistake that a lot of people made is that they treated us like some traditional talent agency and not realizing, no, boo, this is something historic here.
Right.
This is something that's completely and totally different.
Right.
And so we had to try to explain that to our talents. We had to let them know that we're not just a talent agency, we're also just a production company, which
Yep.
means if things and opportunities don't work out there in the outer, we got our own production company and stuff. We can do our own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said we do our own reality shows, we can do our own scripted shows, our own shorts. I said we can do our own stuff in-house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember one of my veteran talents had even said that, Miko, it seemed like you sort of like the gay Motown. I said, really, that's what I was envisioning. That's how the vision came.
Yeah.
Because when you study the history of Motown, everybody was working together.
Yep.
A lot of people don't realize that before Smokey Robinson became his own artist,
Yep.
he was the producer and the songwriter
Yep.
for a lot of the hits of the artists that started in Motown.
Yep.
A lot of people fail to forget that Martha Reeves,
Yep.
Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, Martha Reeves was the secretary.
In the Vandellas.
She was the receptionist.
Get this, Diana Ross was the costume designer.
Boom.
She did all of it, and the wigs.
That part. So, you know, it was challenging, you know, getting people to really get the vision. And I used a lot of my resources. I remember a lot of people don't know that when I started this vision, when my main business had suffered during the recession.
Yeah.
Because all of this I started during the recession. When my main business suffered during the recession in 2006, I was homeless.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this.
Right.
I was homeless. And so because one of my contracts that I thought I was going to get didn't come through.
Right.
And I ended up having to move out of my place and stuff like that and didn't know where I was going to go. And the place where I thought I was going to go, they end up tripping and stuff like that because of some bullshit.
Right.
I guess he couldn't sleep with me and stuff like that, and I wasn't having it.
Right.
So, and you know how that is.
That's usually how.
And so I just stepped out on faith and stuff. And so, in order to keep my mind focused, I started working on Meek Productions because like I said, that's my second business and stuff because I started it out as a test run on the website. This was back in 2003. When
Right.
2006 came and I ended up in that homes experience,
Right.
I said, let me go ahead and start building Meek Productions while I have this time that'll keep my mind focused so that I won't go crazy.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people don't realize that during the first, like that first year, like two year, first at least I think year and a half, I was actually going through a homeless experience.
Yeah.
And Meek Productions is what not only kept me focused. Once everything got back together, Meek Productions was really what saved my life.
Right.
It's what helped to heal me from internalized homophobia.
Right.
It's what helped to heal me from a lot of the bullying and the teasing that I experienced growing up, because I was bullied and teased too.
Yeah.
Mine started back when I was in kindergarten because my favorite superhero was Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so yeah, you know, Meek Productions really was a big blessing to me. And then I wanted to just share that blessing with other people because I felt during that time, I said, if Logo TV and Here TV and some other networks that was coming, this was in 2003 now.
Yeah.
Word has it that all these LGBTQ networks was coming.
Yeah.
And even Sony temporarily had an LGBT record label.
Yeah.
But it was short-lived.
They don't tell nobody.
So,
So they don't tell nobody about that.
Yeah, they don't tell nobody about that. They forget it was all in the newspapers back then. So, you know, but only only I think about 3 networks survived: Logo TV, Here TV. I think another network had started, the Q Television Network, but they folded.
Mm,
Uh, I think right after a couple of months after they started.
yeah,
And so, but when I heard that that was coming, I was like, okay, who's going to represent these talents? Who's going
right.
to represent and look after the talents so that they won't have to sell their souls, so
Yeah,
that they won't have to feel like they have to suppress who they are just to make it mainstream.
yeah.
And so that was the foundation. And plus, me being an artist myself as a singer, songwriter, producer, I'm like, I don't want to be put in a position where I have to, pretend that I'm one thing when I'm not,
I,
just so that I can get a check.
you know what? I knew this conversation was going to be rewarding because I want to touch on the first thing you said. I'm getting goosebumps. That spirit's way of letting me know that it's going right. What you said about it keeping you sane and saving your life.
Mm-hmm.
The Queen of Shade did that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Did that for me. I was going through a whole mental health struggle and battle and couldn't quite get it together. And literally, because I had already been in entertainment for years. I started as a model and went to Paris for 6 months. And even there, got mentally ill. And at the height of my career, I'm up there with all these people. They're like, oh, you're going to be the next big thing here in France. And then I just disappear. Like no one hears from me. I literally just vanish. Little do they know I didn't have the money to go home. I moved over there with 3 suitcases and 50 cents in my pocket. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was that desperate because as a homosexual talent, I wasn't getting the right help and okay, and I'm gonna go, Meek, I'm gonna go there.
Go there.
I'm gonna go
It's
there.
time to go there.
I'm gonna go there. And many of the heterosexual talent kept coming to me, telling me about all the favors they had to do for gays that were gatekeepers in the business.
Mm-hmm.
I had a young man say to me, honey, you need to come to New York and grind in the belly of the beast because you gay. You actually like this shit. You
Mm-hmm.
get ahead and get us all in. But I said, honey, I don't lie down with thieves.
That part. That part.
It's so, I knew this was going to be a great conversation because you and I have something in common, deeply, intrinsically in common. We care about talent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
And not just talent, our talent.
Mm-hmm.
And that I've heard stories. I could tell you stories.
So have I. So have I.
The worst treatment ever. And I made a decision.
Mm.
I said, y'all not getting me.
That part.
And I meant that physically, metaphorically,
Mm-hmm.
figuratively.
That part.
Y'all not
All of that.
Y'all not getting me. Get this. My family may have been crazy and didn't have the support for me because I knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
But they raised me better than that.
That part.
You're not going to no. You're not.
And you know what? I'm glad that you talked about this in that manner, because even when I look at, because I've been following you for years, and we
Vice versa.
we first I remember when I first heard about you when you was under your Beyond Default brand.
Yep.
And so and I remember when I heard your music, and I remember when we first started playing your music on our LGBTQ radio show, the Barris Artist Talent Showcase. And one of the things that I love about you is that you always tell the truth to these talents, especially when it comes to the adult entertainment industry.
You have to.
Because one of the things that I'm beginning to see now is, because I think I was talking to another colleague of mine about this,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I said this on another interview too,
Mm-hmm.
that we should not be in a place to where, now for those people who are destined to be in that arena, that fit that arena,
Right.
awesome, go forward. We support it. That's why we have an adult entertainment division as well.
I know this. I'm aware.
And so, but there are some people who not just looks, but just with their talent alone, they don't even have to go that route.
Right.
Yet they are having to go that route
Right. Speak on it.
just to make a living. And that's not really who they are. And that's not really what they want to do.
Right.
There are some people who are destined for adult entertainment. You can tell it.
Yeah.
You can tell it in their performance. You can tell it by the way that they're into it. And you can also tell it by their professionalism.
Yeah.
And then there are some, it's like, boo, y'all really didn't need this.
No.
And it takes someone who's connected to the divine,
Yep.
someone who's connected to the spirit,
Yep.
to actually see through that and actually understand that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I know me and my classmate talked about this, because I'm Generation X.
Yeah.
And so I think you're 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
And so in our generation, we share some things with y'all generation and with the new ones, because as much as I love the baby boomer generation, love y'all dearly. But there is some shit that y'all left undone.
Speak about it.
That we're having to now clean up.
Clean it all.
Because y'all left us hanging.
Yep.
Especially in the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
We get it. We understand y'all was too busy breaking down doors. Y'all was doing what y'all could do and all that stuff like that. But there's a lot of stuff that y'all left undone. Because when I look at our young people, I'm like, we haven't really been mentoring and coaching like we supposed to.
Because let me tell you something. They didn't want to. They wanted to be over all of them. Even the hater that I'm speaking about, this entity didn't just terrorize me. So many of us. And the thing about it was, they weren't really terrorizing me. They were teaching me their strategy of war.
The art of war.
And what I had to do was learn their strategy. So now I know their strategy. And because I know their strategy, I was able to then formulate my own. And it is so sad when someone inside, I had a celebrity psychic by the name of Boots Durango. He goes by Boots Tarot online. He's in the community, and he is, when I tell you, if he tell you something, it's on point.
It's on point.
He read me and he said, listen, the royalties are coming in, the wealth is coming in, you're going to live in another country. He said everything that was affirming and confirming to me. And at the end, he said, be careful, because it's a bitch in our community that wants to try to make you think you're not going to make it. And it's a lie. And he said, do you know who I'm speaking of? I said, I know exactly who you're speaking of. They want to be the only one. And that stems from such a place of insecurity, because you were bullied. They tell their story. You were bullied. So instead of actually going and getting some real therapy, you became the bully.
Oh, sis, you going there. Because a lot of people fail to realize the laws of the cosmos. Let me tell you something, baby. I've been omniversal. This fall, I celebrate 20 years of being in divine consciousness. And let me tell you something that I learned at turning 50. You get away with nothing in the cosmos.
Nothing.
The universe does not play favorites.
Nope.
Just like it's written in scripture. Just like the rain fall on the unjust, it fall on the just too. Just like the sun shine on the just, it shines on the unjust. The creator of the omniverse does not play favorites.
Nope.
And I don't know why people don't understand. I remember hearing this in 2020, and I'm gonna get into to the inspiration that you brought forth in this too. I remember in 2020 when the divine told me that this is the age of Aquarius. This is no longer the dawning of the age of Aquarius, like the fifth dimension talked about back in the late 60s, early 70s. That was the dawn. This is we're actually in smack in the age of Aquarius. And what people don't realize, that the age of Aquarius is the unveiling. All of the bullshit, the unveiling, and the pandemic was the beginning. The pandemic was the beginning, because baby, when the pandemic hit, a lot of folks had to face themselves. A lot of folks had to just sit and do a reset. Everybody did. Everybody. And let me tell you something. And it's not just on the straight end, but on the gay end too. Everybody that's from our community, whom the Creator blessed, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Boom.
Listen.
Boom.
Listen, I see this. You know what's so sad?
You get away with nothing in the cosmos, boo.
You know what's so sad? I watched I'll tell you when we come off camera. But who it is, because legally
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to mess up what me and my lawyer have been building for about the last 7 years.
Of course.
So the economic damage lawsuit is what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But because they've done things to stop me from actually making money.
Mm-hmm.
But the horrible thing of it all is that,
Mm-hmm. I got something to share when you finish. Go ahead. It
yeah,
just came to me in spirit.
yeah, this person, they don't even have the career they wanted.
Mm. Mm.
They don't even have the career they wanted.
Wow.
It's all a ruse. It's all a ruse.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, you can act like you have it all day long. I'm a prophet, a shaman, an oracle, and a seer, healer as well. I see you. Before we started this conversation, I was thinking about it to myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, it doesn't matter if anybody else knows this in the world. One thing I can be sure of is I know what my hater is not.
Mm.
Because you've been showing me for 16 years.
What did the late Maya Angelou say? When people show you who they are,
Believe them.
believe them.
Believe
Because
them.
the enemy, as the elders used to say, the enemy, if you be quiet long enough, the enemy will tell on themselves.
Yes. I watched this, and you know it was so it's heartbreaking because I watched this person constantly try to make steps forward and get knocked back. And the reason why they get knocked back is because they're part of the LGBTQIAP plus community. It's only
Mm.
a couple of jobs you can have, baby, out there. You can
Out there.
you can be the stylist. You can be the hairstylist. You can be the makeup artist. You can be the gay guru best friend telling on the men to the women.
Oh,
I like to
you
call
going there, baby.
that one the alarmist.
Oh,
There's only
wow.
yes, there's only so many things you can be out there. You can stand red carpet and commentate, but
Oh my God.
A-list, you can't even be A-list, B-list, C-list, or D-list. They won't
Because
give you.
because let me tell you this. See, you going there. See, I didn't even know we was gonna have this type of conversation, but since you
Listen.
going there, baby, and see, this is what I love about you. Since you going there, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's really talk, because one of the things that I always try to tell my talents, both new and veteran, especially about the industry and how to be careful
Yeah.
with the so-called support that you think you're getting.
Think that
Okay,
you have.
because see, the same thing happened when we look at the Black community, when we look at hip hop.
Yep.
Because I'm getting ready to work on a conversation, maybe a documentary, to talk about the hijacking of hip hop
Yeah.
and how hip hop was hijacked,
Yeah.
and how the industry and the media from mainstream, how they pitted. They're the main ones that was really behind the
Manipulation.
East Coast West Coast battle.
Yeah.
Tupac and Biggie. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, they was involved in all of that,
Yeah.
and how they divide and conquer and try to get us to fight each other.
Yeah.
The same thing was happening in the LGBTQ plus community. And so when I look at certain shows that we knew that was successful, like Noah's Ark
Yeah.
and like Pose, and
Yep.
like right after the second or the third season, you're gonna cut them off. And that's when Soul Within revealed to me. I said, y'all just was popular right now.
Yeah.
They don't really accept you.
Mm-mm.
They don't really love you.
Mm-mm.
You're just a means to an end.
And let me tell you why this person.
You was never, as Stephanie Mills said, you was never their friends.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah. But get it. This is why this person is so angry with me, because I had enough God in my life that when I wanted to sign, God said no when I could hear it. No, 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 no. See, the problem is these people done sign these contracts. This person signed them contracts. It's the first contract that does you in, baby, because you were never really in.
You never was in.
I
You
watched this.
never was in.
I watched this person blaze in media, social media, and then vanish when they got a real opportunity. And didn't understand that it may have been required, but what they were doing was erasing your brand so that you could come under to theirs.
Not on, wait a minute, not just erasing, in many cases, stealing
Yeah.
and robbing your brand,
Yeah.
stealing your ideas so
Yeah.
that they can make it theirs and kick you to the fucking curb.
Yeah.
Treating you like a battery, like the Matrix said, you ain't nothing but a battery. And
Yeah.
once you lose your charge, they throw you away and replace you with another one.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because in starting my own company as well, I'm in this for the long haul.
We all are.
Get this. I can say this to you because business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need nobody else. I've been doing this. I do everything from the graphics, creation, to the markups, to everything.
Same here.
To keeping the books. I got an accountant and a lawyer, but I keep the book and send the trial balance at the end.
At the end of the day, you make sure that at the you're the last one that signs off on the checks.
And I see it when it comes back.
That part. Because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, I'm the steward of this vision. If something goes wrong,
yeah, they're gonna get me.
They're gonna look at me.
Yeah, they're gonna arrest me.
That part.
Not on my watch.
They ain't coming after my staff or my independent contractors or anybody else. They coming after me.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of people don't understand that. I said, a lot of y'all think y'all bosses, but you haven't gone through. What have you gone through? You haven't gone through it. I said, You got to really go through the school of hard knocks if you really truly want to know what entrepreneurship really is.
Let me tell you something. That school of hard knocks is nothing but a classroom.
That's all it is.
It teaches you everything you need to know.
I've learned, and thanks to people like you and others who shared their testimony, I've learned over the years that the stuff that used to bother me, what I used to reel over, I look back on them now and say, you know what? I have no regrets.
Right.
I'm grateful, like it's written in scripture, in everything give thanks.
Yep. Yeah.
In everything give thanks.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I realized that everything that happened into my life, like you say so eloquently all the time, that it was all of that were lessons and stepping stones to get me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say every mistake I made with talents, every mistake I made with any other potential client or customer or business owner, every mistake I made with you, that helped me to be better. While y'all still thinking that y'all right. I recognize the point that, you know what? I'm operating in my humanity. Yeah. This is a learning curve. This is a lesson for me to learn.
Get this.
Because if Michelle Obama can write in her book Becoming, that's why she named it Becoming. If Michelle Obama can write in her book, say, I'm always becoming, there is no such thing that I've arrived.
Right.
And this is the first Black woman to have been first lady.
Yeah.
For the greatest country in the world. And I'm like, if she can realize that, what's wrong with us? Yeah. There is no such thing that you have arrived. There is no big eyes or little U's in the cosmos.
Nope. Nope. Get this. I have to issue a retraction. Because I had a conversation with the divine last night. It was late, and when we work late. We work early.
That part. Late in the wee hours of the morning, baby.
We work 25/8.
That part.
Yes, I heard that recently. MJ Harris said it in one of his videos, and I was like, you know what? He's absolutely right.
That's true. We on call, baby. 25/8.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So get this. I have to issue a retraction because I said in one of my interviews that I thanked the divine for my hater and my haters because they pushed me into greatness with their tampering and their bullying and their attempts to end me. They helped make me who I am. The divine got in my ass last night.
Okay, come on, come with it.
The divine said to me, so you credit them for making you? They made you who you are? Or did I make you? And as you grew, no matter what happened, you came into the knowledge of self.
That part.
So I said to divine, I said, you're right. He said, so there's a reason why I'm telling you this way. He said, because some people believe that you wouldn't be as powerful if you didn't have haters that pushed you there. But what I need you to put out to the young people coming up is that you don't need haters to push you to what you are going to become. You're
Confirmation.
going to become what you're going to become because you were destined to become it.
That part. By divine right. Let me give a shout out
Divine
to
right.
let me give a shout out to Pastor LaDonna Clark, who's the mother of gospel hip hop,
Mhm.
and who's also an out lesbian pastor and Christian.
Right.
She said something about almost 20 years ago
Mhm.
to me, and I never forgot it. She said, "What is yours by divine birthright? Can't nothing in heaven or hell stop it.
Right.
What is yours by divine birthright? What is meant for you to have according to your assignment
Yeah.
in this planetary dimension,
Yeah.
it's yours non-conditionally. It ain't up for debate. It ain't up for discussion. It ain't even up for a fucking planning committee meeting.
Exactly.
It is yours
It's
by divine birthright. Period.
So
End of discussion.
that's right. So the divine said to me, stop crediting people that were angry and decided that they wanted to get into your way. Stop crediting them. And then said this, because now you're tired and I'm going to deal with them.
That part.
You won't have to deal with them because they got not in your way. They got in my way.
Touch not my anointed.
I said, oh, he said, so do you want any parts of that? I said, oh, no, I don't want no.
Oh, no.
When you start dealing and doing all that, I don't want no parts of that. You handled that. I'll continue to do what I was doing. Because he said to me, because everything you've done because you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you've done because you had to. Not because somebody said, they didn't come to you in love and say, oh, I have a great idea and this would make you a better person. No, you responded to whatever treatment or hatred or fire you were being fueled with.
Absolutely.
You made adaptations, but that didn't mean that you became that and that was who made you.
Mm-hmm.
He got very upset with me. He said, sweetheart, if you never had a single hard day in your life, you'd still sit here today this. And that took some time for my mind to wrap around.
Because we've been so indoctrinated.
And we've been through so much hardship because of the unfair equality.
Absolutely. There's certain positions we should have never been in.
Exactly.
Period. Certain positions we should have never been in.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
just like,
oh, well, we got through it and we made it and it didn't kill it. No, sweetheart. You were destined to hit your mark without the interference.
That part. Despite white supremacy.
Right.
Despite discrimination from all ends. Despite the bullying and teasing.
Yeah. You
was going to make it regardless.
Exactly.
See,
people don't think like that. When you
Mm-hmm.
realize, oh no, I'm giving my hater too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving every negative word and I'm giving every no too much credit. Because
when they are not the creator, they're not your creator. They're not the divine
and
source.
they gave you the no to get in your way.
That part.
They didn't want to let you through. They saw something in you that intimidated them. They did not want to let you through. They got in your way.
And the reason why you and because I can relate to everything you're saying. The reason why they told us no, the reason why they got in our way is because they knew that we were the genuine article and they weren't.
I had somebody.
They were the ones that drunk the Kool-Aid.
Oh.
They were the ones that drunk the Kool-Aid. Like I said, baby boom generation, y'all got to correct some shit. Yeah. They the ones that drunk the Kool-Aid because the baby boom generation, y'all were the generation that created this ideology of fake it till you make it.
Yep.
And then when the real genuine articles started coming around, instead of you opening the door and say, hey, y'all the real thing, come on in.
They got
y'all chose to play ahead. You chose to envy. Yep. You chose jealousy.
Yep.
You chose narcissism.
Yep.
Huh? You chose that instead of operating in your divine calling.
I deal with that right now in my family.
Oh, trust me. Let me tell you something about that, baby. You ain't even got to tell that story because I say I've been following you in your interview.
Yes.
I got something to say to that person who called themselves trying to interrupt your SSI.
Yeah.
I got something to say about that, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah.
the age of Aquarius entered in.
Yeah.
As it's written in scripture.
Yeah.
The Creator is going to restore what the cankerworm and the locust have eaten up.
Don't forget the palmer worm. I know it all. I want it all.
So everything that person thought that they was doing, you gonna get all of that's gonna be restored, boo. I'm a living witness.
Get that.
I'm seeing it happen to other people who I'm spiritually connected with, and everything that we lost is getting ready to come back. And ain't nothing that they do gonna stop it. And like I said, you get away with nothing in the cosmos. To that family member that called themselves trying to interrupt your SSI, oh boo, you ain't got away with that. You ain't got away with that, boo. You got the answer for that. Period.
Let me tell you something.
How about that?
Let me tell you something. You are about the 5th spiritualist that I have spoken to, that in my life and with what I've gone through, I just wanted to move on to the next level. I just wanted to keep moving forward. And the divine is saying to me, oh, no, sweetheart. Everything back here is going to be added to you as well.
That part.
It's about to be all retroactive. Everything. You about to get all of that.
All of it.
Everything taken from you, you about to be restored. And I'm like,
yes, it
you
is.
tell me I'm getting everything that I done made and
that part.
And then everything. I'm not the bitch to mess with.
Hey, because a lot of people underestimate the Messiah. A lot of people underestimate those who have been sent here to this planetary dimension to do a work. We're on assignment.
Exactly.
And that's another message that a lot of the members of the LGBTQ plus community, especially the T and the intersex.
Yeah.
I say, y'all don't realize how divine.
Yeah.
You all really are, because when we go back to ancient times, the LGBTQ plus community, the reason why, especially why they want to kill the trans and stuff, I said the reason why they attack y'all is because they don't want y'all to recognize y'all divine purpose.
Exactly.
Back in ancient times, we were the shamans, we were the oracles, we were the medicine men, the medicine women.
Yep.
We wasn't just the artists.
Yep.
We wasn't just the jokesters. We wasn't that. I said many of us, we were so connected to the divine. Many of us was leaders of our tribe.
Yep. Many
of us was leaders of our tribe. And I said, if you really want to go there, I said, science is now bringing it out because they've had the knowledge all this time.
Yeah.
They are now bringing it out that really the first human being was intersex.
See?
What they called a long time ago, used to call the hermaphrodite.
Yep.
I said the first human being was really intersex.
Yep.
And then the male and the female, or the put like this, I don't even use that anymore. The masculine and the feminine representation just only represented the different expressions.
Yep.
Sexuality and gender have always been fluid, but they kept that from us.
Let me tell you something. How does a person control you? They withhold information.
That part.
That's how they control you. They withhold information that you would need. But see, some of us out here are just so hungry, we get the information anyway.
That part. And then on top of that, we don't realize, if people talk about that knowledge is power, I said, no, boo, wisdom is the power.
Wisdom.
I said, because there's a knowledge that we have that's distorted.
Yep.
A lot of that knowledge that we have is distorted. And then what you know today may not matter tomorrow.
No.
Knowledge changes.
Yeah.
Over the years. That's why you have to have wisdom. Wisdom is the power.
Wisdom. The Bible says wisdom is the principal thing.
Yes. And all that get understanding.
Yeah. Knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Wow.
This to me is just such a powerful conversation because I'm entering my 40th year. And we know from a spiritual shamanic place, all kinds of stuff start happening at 40.
Sure does.
I'm dreaming about all kind. Like I'm like, Lord, you won't leave me alone. Like it just, like it's just so much. There's so much being added to me at this time. You know, September is, the end of September is when I'll turn. But this whole year, January 1, it just started being added. And I'm just like, what is going on? All this power. all this authority, all this effortless, what looks so effortless. My grandmother said something to me, the Queen Mother said something to me the other day, and I've been saying it lately because she was right. She was like, baby, it's not your work that they're upset about. It's your turnaround time. You're so damn quick with it. She said, do you realize people will do a show and they got to send it to the editor and it won't come back 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She said, honey, you have a thought, and at the speed of thought, you done did it and put it out. You done made the graphic and did it. I can literally get messages from the divine and put them right out.
Right on out.
I'm moving at the speed of thought. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally how I'm doing my work now.
And the biggest blessing is that you're part of the generation that helped to introduce the technology trend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, I come from Generation X. We're the last of the manual labor generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, we didn't get technology to after we graduated high school, because I'm
Right.
class of '89 high school.
Right.
So, and I ended up going to the Art Institute like from '89 to graduate in '91.
Right.
So by the time I got to college, that was when we was introduced. Back then it was Windows 2.0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so when I went to the Art Institute, I saw what was coming.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was going to be this deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really didn't know it was going to be this deep, you know. So yesterday's science fiction is now today's science fact. So
yes. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Is now today's science fact and stuff. And so a lot of the next generation, y'all don't realize how great y'all have it now. Because see, now you all can eliminate the middleman. Yeah. This is really what disturbs me about how y'all so desperate to sign these contracts for these record labels, to sign these contracts and stuff for these motion picture companies. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't need them anymore.
Let me tell you.
You can do your own now.
Let me tell you something.
You can join with other independent companies and stuff that's doing it, and that's not requiring you to go to the casting couch.
Yep. Yep.
That's not requiring you to sleep your way to the top or fuck your way to the top. That's not requiring you to sell out your people. There's a baby, indie is the new mainstream. Indie is the new major.
Let me tell you.
And we got too many artists out here that have proven that. Case in point, the biggest example I can come out with that's come to mind, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Yep.
Didn't have not one recording contract.
Nope.
Nothing with the independent with the major label. He did that on his own and won a Grammy.
Yep.
And the industry got mad because in his acceptance speech, when he was trying to give encouragement to other artists, they cut him off. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did. I saw that.
They cut him off. I said, yeah, y'all cut him off because y'all didn't like the fact that he made it without y'all.
Listen, I have, because of this crown, I have acquaintances and now family in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Executive producers and directors and just people that enjoy my particular brand of wisdom. Mm-hmm. They ask me things. They come to me, Queen. They peel off a couple of dollars. What do you think about this? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I tell them what I think and collect my check and put it in here.
That part.
But the other night, one of those family members in Hollywood said to me, she said, baby, don't come here. She said, ain't no money here. Ooh. She said, ain't no money in Hollywood. She said, Hollywood is trying to catch up with all you indie people to try to get y'all to come back and do some work with us. She
because
said,
their control is breaking.
There's no middleman.
The control is breaking. Like I said, babe, this is the age of Aquarius. Yes. Everybody that was on top that abused their authority, that abused their power, that abused their leadership, baby, the walls, the high place is coming down. Yeah.
Listen.
I will make the darkness light before you. And the high place, I'll bring down. The high places are coming down, especially in the areas that you can think, not just entertainment, but especially in religion.
Yeah.
Baby, when I tell you the pandemic hit them so hard.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and social
No
media
one.
is
Listen, that pandemic could be likened to any one of the plagues back in Egypt, honey.
that part.
It was the whole, it was the wait. And God said, okay, the whole world gonna deal with this.
That's right, baby.
Do you know the world still ain't recovered?
It's not recovering, but those of us who are operating on our assignment,
Yeah.
those of us who are connected to the divine,
Yeah.
we gonna live in plenty.
Oh yeah. We fine.
We gonna live in plenty, baby.
I got everything I need. I got it. When I tell you I got everything I need, let me tell you something. I didn't tell anybody. I hit a hiccup and I'm like, oh God, I can't afford new costumes. I can't afford new hair. I need to do this. I need to do that. I've got to keep this brand moving forward. The divine said, okay.
Mm, mm.
Next thing I know, I'm interviewing actresses.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, they're like, your energy is sublime. I need you in my life. We're family now.
Mm.
Next thing I know, I'm getting $1,000 wigs in the mail.
Wow.
Costumes. This is one of them. Costumes in
Wow.
the mail. In the mail. Oh, I was just thinking, and I don't mean little packages.
Wow.
Calling them care packages, 8, 9, 10 wigs and all these costumes and all everything you need. God said, I will supply.
The omniverse will supply all my needs.
What? Get this. Every night, my boyfriend makes me say these affirmations. There are 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know them off the top of my head because we just started them, but they're to the effect of I'm manifesting my wildest dreams. I'm living abundantly, and the third one is it's in that genre of thoughts, and I don't think we realize as a people how powerful our words are. The reason I sit here so evolved, I knew that was going to happen. The reason I sit here, I felt it. The reason I sit here so evolved and so in tune is because I can hear. I can hear and I know what, see, that's the thing. I know what's coming next. A lot of people don't know what's coming next. So
because they don't have that gift.
Exactly. So they don't have the ability to be able to either maneuver or counter strike.
Absolutely.
Those of us that are here, we turn around, we like, oh, honey, it ain't nothing to turn this plane. What?
What is that? Been there, done that.
What? Like what?
What?
Maneuver, evasive.
Yeah, that's all you got?
Right. Evasive maneuver? Really? Oh, is that what we're doing? Yes. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
One of the things that I'm grateful and thankful for, and I got to do this before we end this conversation.
Oh, yes.
One of the things that I'm grateful and thankful for is that in watching your career and watching you from the Beyond Dufo brand to now the Queen of Shape, because I'm going to tell you, because keep in mind, like I said, I come from the old school.
Right. Keep talking. I'm here.
And so I'm used to you when I first met you and everything. I'm like, oh God, I just love the music. I said, love the fact that he has the masculine look and then he's androgynous. Yep. I'm like, oh my God, know how to put both the masculine and the feminine energy.
Yeah.
And so when you start transforming into the Queen of Shade.
Wasn't that something? I didn't plan that.
I was like, okay, what's this?
I didn't plan it.
Keep in mind, I'm not used to it.
I didn't plan it.
I was like, okay.
And I can't say
because at one point I was like, okay, is he transitioning or
everybody asked
what's going on and stuff. So I was kind of like, no. But as I kept following, see, that's why you have to go with people in their journey.
Yep.
I remember the Matrix, the second installment of the Matrix, the Oracle's bodyguard.
Yep.
When Neo had to fight him in order to see the Oracle.
Yep.
He said, hey, I just had to make sure. Neo said, you could have just asked. He said, no, you never really know someone until you find it.
Right.
And I said, wow. It said, what he's really saying is that you never really know someone until you journey with them,
Yes.
until you walk with them, journey with them, experience with them. And so as I kept experiencing you, what I loved about the transformation and how the divine was moving you and in motivating you and inspiring you to make that change to Queen of Shade, those nuggets of wisdom, those inspirational messages started coming through.
Yeah.
One of the first ones I can go back to,
Yeah.
the classic Shade. Sweetheart,
Ah!
your haters don't matter.
Not for real.
Not for real. What check are they cutting you?
No. No.
And then I added, they need to send you a check for every time they hate it.
I
I'll
know.
send you the invoice.
I remember. I still got the video. I remember.
They need to pay you a check for every time they hate it and send them the invoice. And you better not be late because there will be interest added.
Yes. 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 I remember.
And as you kept going on and you kept going on, it's like with each small clip, it will be nuggets.
Yeah.
It would be nuggets. And it was the nuggets that kept me coming back.
Exactly.
Not even though I didn't always understand the look and where you were going here.
Yeah.
But it was the nuggets that kept me coming back. And as I kept journeying with you and going with you, see that residue of internalized homophobia started breaking.
Ah.
Because you still have some people in the G and the L and the G that still got issues and still don't understand the trans.
Yeah.
And the intersex.
Yeah.
Why? Because we have not been scientifically educated properly.
Right.
And so, like I said, baby, I got my deliverance.
Yeah.
Through you. And what sealed the cake, baby, what sealed the cake is this. Praise the matchless name of the Lord.
Oh, my song.
Praise the matchless name of the Lord.
Yeah.
Praise the matchless name of the Lord.
Yeah.
You're worthy to be praised.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Woo!
I wrote that.
Praise the matchless name of the Lord.
Oh my God.
Praise the matchless name of the Lord.
Yes.
You love me.
Yes.
You made me.
Yes.
Worthy.
Yes. 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 I wrote that.
Wow. That song right there. Yeah. I immediately threw my hands up. Yeah. I'll never forget it. It was either right before the pandemic, because I knew it was right after New Year's when I heard that song. Mm-hmm. And because what year did you release that?
2018.
2018. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear it till around about right before the millennium.
Yeah, you gotta.
Right before I think 2020. That's what.
Yeah, you gotta let it marinate. You gotta put it out there and let it gain momentum.
Mm-hmm. I didn't hear that song till 2020, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that thing right there ministered to me so. It's like immediately when you just said that, I said, she went way back. I haven't heard matchless in years. I said, that's old school elder church. Yeah. Praise the matchless name.
Yeah.
I said, you went there, baby. You went there. I said, baby, if people didn't get their deliverance from that song like I did, something wrong with them.
Everybody did. Everybody did.
Baby, because I'm like, because we got to talk because I want to do the video today. I want to produce the video today.
Okay, we'll talk.
Because every time it's like, because I was listening to it on my way to the office because I wanted to get into our realm of our conversation. Yeah. And I was like, that song there is what did it to me. I said, we played your other songs on our LGBT radio show. Yeah. But that song, that did it for me. I'm like,
but you know what it is? Because like you said, we're on assignment. And this is the thing. Let me explain. Because a lot of people don't get the two-spirited shaman ability. They don't get the masculine and the feminine spirit in one body. You know, people listen to this, Meek. People say this to me all the time. You have such a beautiful face. You have such a beautiful body, but these hands are the hands of a man. They always say that. You want to know why they look like this? Because for 20 years of my life, I lifted weights. Mm-hmm. I built these hands.
Mhm.
These are man's hands, which is why I don't add nails. I will paint my own nails black and leave it at that because I'm proud of these hands.
Absolutely.
These hands built everything that you see in front of you and
Mhm.
this body. I go in that gym. That was my, get it, every song, including Worthy, the one you're singing, was written in the gym while I was working out.
What? I was about to ask you what was the inspiration
I was working
behind
out.
that song.
I was working out. I was working out. I was in between incline and decline press.
What?
Yes. Let me listen. Like I try to. My neighbor says this all the time, and I'm gonna say this word. I'm not. Yes, I am gonna say this word. They gonna be mad, but it's my show. I can say this word. My neighbor's a heterosexual man. All of them are, and they look out for me, and they're like, "You're doing such amazing work. We see you, and you just going, growing." But my one neighbor here, he always says to me, he like, "Listen, you're doing a great job. I see you. I'm real geeked out for you. You're doing it." He said, "But I just want everybody to know you a real nigga." He said, "And I just want everybody to know that to try you is a mistake."
That part.
Real, because you a real nigga. And
that part.
I laugh every time he says that because I don't use that word. But he says, "But no, I want you to understand something. You're a man, and I know you are. And I know." And he said, "How smart is it of a man that has the ability to adorn himself, to do it, to get ahead?" And I said to him, I said, "Well, if every other race can fetishize us, why can't we fetishize ourselves?"
That part. Why they always take it.
So I could do it for them. We can do it. We can do it when Wesley Snipes and all of them, Tu Wong Fu. We can do it for them. But we can't do it for us.
Wow.
And the reason why I picked Tu Wong Fu is because that was the first movie, though it was comedic, that you saw them in a serious role. Patrick Swayze helped that woman that was being abused. You couldn't just laugh at them and say, "Ha, ha, 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 ha. They're so funny." They were dealing with real issues. So it made you actually see their humanity.
That part.
You see?
That part, sister. Go for it.
That part.
Yes.
So, with all of this, I get a lot of people that don't understand it, but I keep on doing it because why? I want to. It's my prerogative.
And keep in mind, you didn't know what was going on at first, but you know that you felt this pulling.
I felt a pulling.
You felt this pulling.
Oh, get this. I had heard it in Paris. I went to Paris and they like, "Bitch, throw on a wig because you're going to do all the women's shows." And because I had been indoctrinated so heavily at fucking 22, I was like, "Oh no, my people in America," and mind you, my people have put me out. I'm homeless in America, got a flat in Paris, staying with a beautiful man from Guadeloupe. Wow. So mind you, I'm like, "Oh no, I can't do that." I pulled the Josephine Baker, like the Josephine Baker story. My mama would knock me in the next week.
Yeah, my mama knocked me in the middle of next week.
If I wear this, and right before I decide, okay, I'm going to do this, mental illness. But I believe at that time, because it was unchecked, it was supposed to happen. Because if I had a flamed on in front of all of them, "Sign here, darling," and I wouldn't own anything today.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't own a thing today. So sometimes we got to take the hit.
Yeah.
A, so you know what it feels like to be hit. And B, so you can save your own shit for yourself.
That part, so that you can learn to love yourself.
But also, I'm doing this shit for me. I'm out here on the internet. And this is mine. I own every single facet of this.
Wow.
They would have owned it.
Likewise.
I'm not the first to do this. I'm not the first. I'm just the realist.
That part. And you're not the first, but you're the one that owns your shit now. Everybody else had to sell out.
I'm the realist, and I will be until the day I die.
And see, the thing is, here's the biggest blessing about what you just said, because we don't realize we are the dreams of our ancestors.
We are.
And we are especially even our LGBTQ ancestors, because those of you, that's why, it's very important for those who have made it, who are kind of up in age. It's very important for them to pass down the knowledge and to start mentoring and coaching. You know what I'm saying? and start realizing, hey, we're standing on y'all shoulders.
Yeah.
Y'all, so I said, y'all went through so that we wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of our generation and your generation and the new generation, that's why they still have a lot of questions. Why are we still going through this shit? I thought this stuff was dealt with years ago.
Mm.
And that's why it's like, we shouldn't have to be doing the work. I said, I know there's work we should continue. I said, but there's some stuff that's what had ended years ago.
I've made a lot of money mentoring.
And so, you know, my thing is that I hope that the LGBT members and even our straight allies and everybody that's listening to us right now, that who are in the entertainment or who are pursuing a career in entertainment, that they will start realizing that, as Whitney Houston says so eloquently in the interview, success is not the problem, fame is.
Yup. I agree.
Fame is.
I agree.
And I'm seeing a lot of us, especially not just in the communities of color, especially in the LGBTQ plus community, that we're willing to do anything just to be famous.
Let me tell you something.
And I'm looking at the image that's being portrayed, because what we have to realize, especially members of our trans community, those who are impersonators, I said, to even our effeminate brothers and our masculine sisters, I said, y'all have to realize that if you do get a break, please know up front that they're not doing this because they accept you or they love you.
No.
You're just a fad right now.
Yeah.
And in many cases, you are being nothing but confirmation bias.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything but confirming their bias to, about you, about our people, about LGBTQ people. So that's why we got to be very careful in how we present ourselves and what we present when we're actually in these media outlets, when we at these mediums. We got to be very careful in how we present ourselves.
You know what I tell them? I say, listen, I don't stop them. Like my mentees, I got them, they're artists, all kinds of people. I tell them, I said, listen, I'm not stopping you from going out there. I just need you to know that it's not going to last. And you need a backup plan.
Absolutely.
You need something to do. And I tell them, on top of that, you need a lawyer. Don't you sign anything without a lawyer. First of all, why is it, let's just go here for a second, Meek. Why is it that LGBTQIAP+ and our heterosexual Black actors, performers, musicians come out with nothing? But you got white counterparts that come out with everything. Racism exists in our business.
It sure does. It always has.
And I just want them to understand that. So, and I tell them, I say, listen, it's not that I might turn down every single opportunity that comes my way. I got things coming to me because people really they like what I do. But I'm not looking to make my home there. First of all, you're gonna pay me as a subcontractor.
That part.
I'm a licensed myself. Oh, prostitution is wrong. This is business, baby. I'm a licensed what I do. And then on top of that, get this. Not only am I going to license my time, you got to pay me to use my trademark. You got to pay me to use my likeness.
That part.
You got to pay me to use my voice. All of these things are separate. And God, please don't ask me if you can use a snippet of one of my songs.
Oh,
what?
Don't you dare.
What I've been saying to my mentees lately, my nephew, I'll start with my nephew. He was my first mentee because I helped raise my two nephews. They're out of the house now and living and doing anything and working hard and realizing that the world is a tough place. But my nephew, he called me, what was it? Maybe about two weeks ago. And he says to me, he's like, you do mentoring, right? I'm like, yeah, now mind you, he 21. I'm going on 40.
Mm-hmm.
He's 21. He's like, you know, I think I could do stuff like that because he's wise. He has wisdom. But he's like, I think I could do stuff like that too. And, you know, then I could come off this job because they're working me like a slave and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I think I could do it. He said, because, you know, if it clicks for you the way that it does, you'll be making way more an hour than because I make way more an hour than most doctors.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the catch, me. I said to him, I said, Ev. He said, yeah, because you know he likes to think things out. Got that ADHD, so you know it's like. So I said to him, I said, Ev, I said the money is good. I said, but you have to understand something. There are 31 days in a real month.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I could work 1 good week, 2 good weeks, where I have mentee calls every week. And then for the next 3 weeks, 3 months, have not a call at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard him. He said, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, it can be like that.
It sure can.
See, this is okay. So now I gotta break this down because now let's talk about why heterosexuals and homosexuals take these deals. They take these deals in the industry because they don't have the money up front for the capital. They don't have the money up front to take and start the business. See, if they smoked weed less, drank less, went on vacations less, you know, partied less, you know,
stop trying to impress other folks that never gave a damn about you in the first place.
They don't care what's on your feet, what's on your ass, what's on your jeans, what's on
that
your
part.
shirt. You'd have the money to start the LLC. It was only $2,000. I did it twice. Trademarking is only $2,000. I did that 4 times. My thing is, what people need to understand is they're white and black. A lot of people going into the industry, they don't have that initial startup investment. But the problem is when you take that investment from them, they take everything from you.
And you know what? They don't even realize that that's the fine print that's in the contract. So you're thinking that when they recoup their investment, they're just going to recoup what they gave you.
No.
Baby. They're not just going to recoup what they gave you. They're going to recoup that plus get not just some of your publishing. If they can't get all of your publishing, get all of your literary works, get all of that. They're going to get it all. And see, that's what they don't realize. This
is the ruse.
Mm-hmm.
They are never going to make someone famous with their money and allow them to walk away. Because get this, fame is horrible.
It sure is.
But it'll sure help you sell a t-shirt. Oh, it'll help you sell a t-shirt. Honey, it'll help you sell a pair of socks. And they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do that. Listen, Meek, I'm so glad my life went the way that it did. I'm so glad God said no. I mean, literally, God pulled her. This bitch is about to run, hit her in the stomach, double her over, fold her up, and put her in the trunk. And drive out of here. Because this bitch about to give away everything I done put in her that she don't even know she have right now.
Baby, the horror stories that you and I know we're going to continue talking after we get off of this combo. But baby, the horror stories, and then what really gets me, especially with some of these young people, is that a lot of y'all think that y'all arrived. You haven't even damn scratched the surface. Your plane, first of all, not only have your plane not even left the platform yet, your plane ain't even really been built yet.
Let me tell you.
Your plane has not even been properly built yet. Because the plane that you think you got, the private jet that you think you got, as you said so eloquently, it's a ruse.
Honey.
And you know what? This other revelation came to me some years ago. People used to always talk about don't burn your bridges. And it's like, wait a minute. How can I burn a bridge that never existed?
Yeah, right?
I said, the bridge got to exist first before you can burn it.
These companies aren't our family. And our family.
I said, y'all had me thinking that that was a bridge there when the bridge was never there.
Never.
And that's why I kept falling.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
That's why we kept falling. Because y'all go right here, y'all had us believing in the rules. And that's why I'm encouraging everybody that's jumping on every reality show opportunity that they can and
Let
stuff
me
like
tell you
that. Look,
something.
baby,
Meek, and they don't
look,
even understand what they signing. They don't even
y'all better.
understand. Let me tell you something. Idol got in trouble for that. Because what happened was they would have you sign this crazy contract. I know, because at one point, 20 something years ago, I signed it. And I talked to my lawyer, and I can say this because the statute, it's over. But even I had a problem signing it. I wasn't even meeting Randy, Paula, and Simon. I stepped outside for 2 days in New York City. I'm out there with all these people, thousands and thousands of people. I get on the news. I'm singing for the news and the Times Square, and I'm doing all of that because I look like a model. And they're like, "Oh, you're so pretty, and your voice is so beautiful. We hope you make it." And then I get in there, and the judge dismisses me. Preliminary judge dismisses me. You'll never guess why. And when I tell you, you're going to say that was nobody but God. You weren't supposed to be there. The judge said to me, "You have a beautiful voice, great diction, and you can emote very well." He said, "But I'm not going to let you through." He said, "Because while you were singing, you didn't look me in my eyes. So I'm sorry, but I'm sending you home." I was mad at that day. I was mad until I realized in the news when it came out later that all those contracts that everybody signed and that were put off before they even got off the show, record labels started picking those talents up and doing albums for them to release them. And Idol came with those contracts and said, "We discovered them," and shut down every project.
What?
It hit the Meek, it hit the news. They said, because get it wasn't the project that they were worried about. It's the discovery and the finder's fee.
Wow. And that's why I never was really into,
get it. And I'm sitting at home, and I happen to flip on the television and I hear that, and I'm like, and literally you could have heard a vase slip off the mantelpiece and break. I said, I dodged a bullet. And get it, it came back later to bite me. Oh, it did. I decided a couple years later, let me go to New York and try to get this modeling contract before Paris. This was before Paris. And I met a very famous model maker, because they have them in the industry. They're still around. Not so many anymore, but they have the model makers where they bring the talent and make the talent and place the talent with an agency, but they oversee them, which is another check out of your ass.
That's right.
Okay. So this model maker was going to help me get my career going. Told me you'd be the biggest thing in Europe if you put on a wig. I said, no, I don't want to do that. So get this, was going to sign me. He said, "I'm just going to do some digging about you. We just have to make sure that there's nothing out there, because they do this. We're going to take you on as a talent. We got to make sure nothing unsavory is out there." See, my babies don't realize that they do background checks on everybody.
That part.
Okay.
That part. Oh, we're going to talk about that, especially those who are in adult entertainment and thinking that they still gonna make it mainstream.
You gotta tell them. Don't hide it. You gotta tell them, because you listen. The ones that are really good, if they see something in you, but even then, you got to come to the table. But see, you got to come to the table with your own money, because you got to say, okay, well, this is a hiccup. I can pay for this hiccup.
There you go.
I've been saving for this hiccup. But get this. So the model maker was going to sign me, and I was very excited. I was in the ghetto at that time, in a little apartment, working a regular 9 to 5. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. I can't do this. So he says to me, calls me. I'm home. I'm crying in the bathroom, begging this man, please get me out of here. He says, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that." I said, "Why?" First reason, because I wouldn't crawl into his bed. That was the first reason.
Yep, that part.
Second reason, he said, because I did some digging and I have some people with the American Idol franchise, and they say you walked away from them. You're not a team player. You're defiant, and you cannot be trusted to play alone.
What?
And he said to me, if I sign you and you bite me or try to leave me, I will destroy you.
Wow. That's an abuse.
I
Oh,
said,
that's an abuse of power. That's an abuse of authority.
get this. I said to him, well, then you might as well not sign me, because I never do what I'm told. I never do what I'm told. I never do what I'm told. All my life, I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. I'm defiant by nature. That's how I got here. Listen, I used to be in church. I tell them, baby, for me, for this, I would defy God. Because I love this so much. I don't care if he made it. You try to destroy it and I got to choose between you and me, it's going to be me.
Because at the end of the day, we are energy beings having a human experience. It's not the other way around. And since I'm the one that has to be accountable and responsible for this human experience, for this temple that I was placed in, you ain't finna control nothing.
Nothing.
That never belonged to you in the first place.
Listen, I'm reminded of when the adversary tried to offer Jesus before the cross, go up on the mountaintop. You can have all this if you would just bow down to me. And he goes, how are you going to try to, layman's terms, how the hell are you going to try to offer me something I already own? In layman's terms, that's what it meant. How the hell are you trying to offer me something that I already own? You don't see, listen, you don't see my name over there. You don't see the Valley of the Tree. You don't see my imprint in all of this. How are you going to try to offer me something that I already own?
And you know what, going back to like I was saying before, that's why there's a shifting taking place.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius, and everybody, including those that represent our community, that's been up there and that have abused power, abused authority, abused their energy, abused their resources.
Yeah. They're coming
getting ready to be brought down.
They're dropping.
And guess what?
They're dropping.
There ain't nothing they could do about it, because once again, you get away with nothing in the cosmos. You ain't gonna just sit out there and just put toxic energy out there and do people any kind of way and think that the cosmos ain't gonna give you back the seeds you sown. It don't work like that. The universe don't work like that, boo.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna confide in you and all these people watching. I'm not out to destroy my adversary. I'm not out to hurt them or get them back. Do you know what I feel for them? I'm sad. And the reason why is because I see an insecure gay that just wanted to make something out of themselves. And they got caught up in a game and didn't realize the game was for keeps.
That part. And didn't realize that, guess what? You don't have to play it.
No.
Who told you you had to play a game?
They hate
you. You don't have to play a game to make it.
They hate me because this is the career they wish they had. Because I own everything. I own everything. I own everything. And they know the longer I sit on the eggs, the golden eggs, and keep them warm, they're going to start hatching. And everything in my brood is going to be mine.
That part.
Which is why they've always messed with the money. Try to stop me from moving my clientele to the point of sale. I put a link tree in my bio section on Instagram, and I got to check it every day because for some reason it don't work. So then I have to come up with a workaround and do that. And now I had to create my own link tree through my own website. I got a link tree page that is mine, so it's a shade tree page.
That part.
Okay.
Wow. These people gonna get enough of thinking that they can just fuck with anybody. They really gonna get enough.
But you know, it's not even that and this is the thing, my grandmother even said this to me. I don't want them to be hurt. because people that are like that have already been hurt. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but get this, my grandma tells me, and so does the divine, stop being too nice. Don't be too nice. But because they'll stab you in your back or chest the first chance they get. But
That part.
my thing is, I want them to find some kind of healing, literally. And honestly, there's two reasons why I'm still here and have never been taken down, no matter what they did. A, because they couldn't take me down because they can't break me because they didn't make me. That's number one. But then
Mm-hmm.
number two, because they need what's coming out of my mouth. I'm the medicine to them.
Mm-hmm.
How is that like how is that? I'm
That's
the medicine to that.
I know the late Dr. Wayne Dyer
Mm-hmm.
said something so powerful. He said that how can it's like how can you expect change and you keep doing the same thing?
Yeah.
You saying that you don't like this, but yet you keep going to it.
Yeah.
That's called insanity.
Yep.
First of all, recognize your own insanity.
Yep.
Then you can correct that problem. Recognize your own insanity. So I'm like, okay, if you don't like me so much, why every time I turn around, you're always looking and watching what I'm doing?
Yeah. Always.
I know exactly what you're going through. There are people that see everything we post.
Yep. I don't even
And
want. I don't even go to my haters. They
yeah,
always
it's like they see everything we post.
everything.
I get just a
they
little
got
light,
people.
yeah, a little light there.
Listen,
But the
they
minute
got
they see
people.
me,
They got
go
people
ahead.
watching you
Mhm.
for them.
And then not only that, because of what I've noticed, I know one of my other colleagues used to say something called, he said, Miko, just like there's racism and sexism, there's this thing called celebritism.
Yeah.
And I say, you see it all the time on social media. It's like, because I begin to notice, for example, like that opportunity that I got to do media coverage at Little Nas X's homecoming celebration.
Nice.
That was here.
Yes, that
Let
was.
you know how the divine worked. I wasn't even supposed to have been at my other co-working spot that day.
Right.
I was just coming for something, or either check mail and stuff, and just lo and behold, I heard about it. Lo and behold, I was told about it while I was there.
Yeah.
And due to the fact that the people that work at the gathering spot, due to the fact that they know me, they know I'm a member, they know I support and participate. It's like I auto just entered right on in.
Yeah.
And it's like, I knew that was divine. I said, wait a minute, because I'm like, I also had been at home.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so you can tell, that's why if you just sit back and chill and just keep doing your work, keep operating your assignment, doors will just open.
Yeah.
Doors will just come your way, opportunities will come your way. That's the same thing that happened with the SRA private screening.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that was happening that night. I came there for another meeting. Didn't even know that was happening that night. And come to find out, I came right on in.
The divine will always take care of you like that.
Always take care of you. But I noticed, getting back to my other point, I noticed that when I started posting stuff with celebrities, I get all these many likes.
Listen, I vanished.
Over 50, and I'm like, okay, but y'all don't like the other stuff that we're trying to do with the agency and with the community and trying to push independent artists and stuff. Yeah, this is interesting.
Get this, my following is still upset with me because I disappeared from Instagram for 7 months. Before I left, I was getting 60,000 views and the upwards of that. Now them bitches ain't like, I'm getting the views, but I'm not getting the likes because they mad at me because you left us.
Yeah,
I had to leave because I had to work on some other things, but it'll go back up because the point is my work is good.
Yeah.
And when work is good, it will be seen. It doesn't matter when or how long.
It doesn't matter when or where. When it's good, not only if the work is good, when it's genuine, when it's coming from a genuine source.
Yeah.
When you're not doing this just for the money.
Yeah.
Granted, we all got to get paid.
We all do,
but that's not our main goal.
It's not the drive.
We're more caught up. We're more caught up in the mission. We're more caught up in the assignment. We're more caught up in the vision.
Yes.
Than all of these other materialistic things.
And its execution.
That part.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize how much I sacrificed just to even get this. Like I said, when I really started working on Meek Productions, I was in a homeless experience.
Listen, you don't want to know how much I sacrificed.
You know what I'm saying? So I say a lot of people don't know what I sacrificed, and I always tell these talents, I say everything that we're doing for you, do you know that don't know other agencies do that? I said, do you know that when it comes to marketing and advertising and doing these campaigns and all that stuff, do you know you have to pay for that?
Yes.
I said, you know you have to pay for photographers and stuff like that. And I say, especially if you want quality photographers, you got to pay. You got to invest.
See, that's why That's why I opened the doors of my modeling agency before the pandemic and I closed them.
Mm,
Because I'm gonna tell you, and I haven't spoken on this, so this is an exclusive in my own interview with you.
mm-hmm.
I didn't tell anybody why I shut the doors. But I shut the doors not because of the pandemic, but because I realized that it wouldn't be the 50-50 partnership that I was hoping it would be.
That part.
I wanted models that would come in with their own money and my expertise and my vision and my money, and we put our money together so that when they actually worked, we split whatever they made
Absolutely.
together, because we both upfront put in our initial investments. But when I realized models, I want to be pampered, and oh, I want to be this, and oh, I want to be that. And this is so funny because they don't even realize, Mika, about the real models. Marcus Schinkenberg, one of the greatest Caucasian supermodels, male supermodels, one of the first there was, Marcus Schinkenberg. I remember him telling a story of how he was in Paris sleeping. Now, mind you, look at this. Gorgeous man, gorgeous body, walking runways, making his way to fame and stardom, sleeping on a mattress that his booker, which is his agent, modeling agent, had him sleeping in somebody's basement on a mattress just to have a place to stay in Paris so that he could make money to be able to get up from the bottom.
Wow.
On a mat, and he talked about how he cried because it was so hard. Tyra Banks told us how hard Paris was modeling. Her mother had to join her there. Her mother had to had to help her with her career. Said, Mama, I'm not gonna let them do this to you. Mama had to take him, whatever she was doing, Mama had to stop doing it and go push that child to stardom. They don't get that.
They don't get that.
Grace Jones.
And see, and not only that, baby, I'm glad you talked about this, because I know I have to go in a few minutes.
That's okay.
But, here's the deal. A lot of people don't want to share the spotlight because, once again, they operate in narcissism, and they thinking it's me, I, and not realizing that you think Beyonce got that just by herself. She had to have team. She had to have support. If her father and her mother was not behind her, we would have never heard of Beyonce. She would be working in corporate America right now.
Right.
She'd be working in corporate America right now.
Because they could afford college. Because they could afford college. They was good. He worked for Xerox. They were
that part.
It was good. She would have took her butt to college. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
she still would have married a rapper though. But get it, she still would have married Jay-Z though.
Okay. But see, here's the deal though. Once again, they don't get that, not only you have to invest in your own brand, but see, you need a team. If you want to go mainstream, you got to have a team.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that whoever is with you, they're not just with you.
Get it?
Just to ride along. They're with you because they believe in you. They're really for you.
Everybody
that's with you don't mean that they for you.
But get this, everybody on that team got to get a check.
That part.
Everybody.
That part.
Nobody should work for free.
Nobody.
Okay. I know you got to go. So listen, we have had us. We done went. Woo! I can't wait.
Baby.
So listen,
when you hit me up, baby, when you hit me up, I told you, baby, the doors of the church is going to be open.
I think we just saved so many people, honey. This sermon on the Mount. So listen, very quickly, give us a rundown of your agency, where it's located, and where we can find you on social media. And then I want you to end with I'll ask you 3 things that inspire you, but I want you to give us a rundown on your talent agency, because I got a lot of babies that are looking for representation. I talk to them every day, and they're of the LGBTQIA, and they're serious. Because Mama, I don't talk to people that
part.
You need to have your own money. You need to, this is what I did. So you got to have a source of income. Okay, so you tell them about your agency and tell them where to find you and what the stipulations are and how they can submit. And
go for it. All right. As many of you had heard throughout the interview, Meek Productions is the world's first LGBTQ exclusive talent agency and production company. Google it. All you got to do is just type in LGBT talent agency. We're the first to come up.
Okay.
We are very serious about representing LGBT talent. Next year is our 20th conceptual anniversary, and we're planning a global tour.
Yeah.
And we are still doing our online casting call. You can actually see it on our IG. In order to register to be with our agency, you have to go to our website,
I'll put it
meekproductions.lgbt.
all in the bottom.
It's MEAK as in kite, productions with an S, .lgbt. When you get to our website, you can click the registration link that's at the top of the navigation menu and just follow the instructions, because that's the only way you can be considered. Just because you register doesn't mean that you're going to be accepted, because we're looking for people who are serious
Right.
about their career. We do work with undiscovered talent, but we look at, based on your submissions, we look at, okay, how serious are they? Have they actually gone out and gotten a professional photo shoot done? You
Right.
know, if I see just stuff on your cameras and stuff like that, I say, you're not serious yet. You ain't made the investment yet. You
Right.
still looking for somebody to do for you. No, you got to invest in your own careers. You got to at least make the first steps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to present like you want to be
looking at it.
represented.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
You got to present to any agent like you want to be represented. Because keep in
Right.
mind, agencies are like sales agents.
Yeah, you got to see,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
value. You got to show them the value.
You got to show, we got to make sure that when we go out there and try to sell you to other opportunities, that you're worthy to be sold.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, and also keep in mind that it's just like you go to a staffing agency.
Yep.
You know, talent agencies, they're supposed to be chasing you.
Yep.
You're supposed to constantly call them, say, hey, you know, just calling to see if anything's available. Just let you know I'm available. I'm working, because we understand a lot of talent still have to have 9-to-5 jobs, because y'all still got bills to pay.
Right.
So, but let us know if you're available or not, because we don't need to be booking you for something during the day and you can't make it.
Right.
So, especially if it's most of the mainstream, absolutely, most of the mainstream opportunities that's for like major film companies and other stuff like that. That stuff is during the day.
Yeah.
Those auditions are during the day, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's a job. It's a job.
It's a job. And so, even when it comes to nightlife, you're still going to be meeting them like in the early evenings at the job location.
Yeah.
Not at no hotel rooms.
No.
Not at their residences.
No.
Okay. You come to their office.
Yeah.
Okay. In a professional setting, in a professional environment.
Looking professional. A lot of young models don't know that they have to look professional like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what we're looking for. And also bear in mind that because we are LGBTQ exclusive, there's a different edge to us. You know what I'm saying? Don't treat us like as a traditional talent agency.
Yeah.
We're not a traditional talent agency.
Yeah.
We're an LGBT exclusive talent agency.
Yeah.
And that's for all members of the LGBTQ plus community,
Yeah.
regardless of what race and culture you represent, because
Yeah.
that's what we're for. Now, for our LGBT people of color, we do have a division. Take this out. We do have a division called History of Black Gay America.
Okay.
That's the division that we have for all things LGBT of color. Okay. But as far as the entire Meek Productions vision, that is for the entire LGBTQ diaspora, regardless of what culture and race you represent.
Right.
So that's what we're looking for. It's like I said, we're still looking for new talents, because we're looking for new talents to represent, because we still have our signature talents that we still represent now. But we're looking for some new talents to represent and stuff like that, because we want to bring a new edge for our 20th conceptual anniversary.
Right.
So yeah. So that's what we're looking for now. You can actually go to our website, once again, meekproductions.lgbt. And we're actually on all social media platforms except TikTok. We ain't on TikTok yet, but we're all on we're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn,
Instagram,
we're on Tumblr, and Instagram. So we're on all those outlets as Meek Productions, MEAK Productions with an S. Okay. And also to our members of the adult entertainment community, we do have an adult entertainment division.
Representation. Tell them representation is important, even in adult film.
Yeah, it is. Representation is so important. Because even if you have,
because they cast and couch those babies too.
That part, because even if you have a Just for Fans page or OnlyFans page, keep in mind you still need representation when it comes to being booked and stuff. Because there's only so long that you're gonna be able to book yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're trying to go mainstream.
Yeah.
They're not going to see you. Let me tell you something about the mainstream industry. They're not even going to see you unless you have an agent or a manager.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that means that these people are very serious. And a lot of people don't realize that. If you want to go mainstream to the next level, you got to have management and representation. You got to have that.
Right.
They're not going to even talk to you if you don't.
Right.
So so I think a lot of people don't realize that. You keep thinking, well, I don't need an agent. I don't need a manager.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, boo, yes, you do.
It lets the world know you're serious.
Yes, because see, once again, they need to see that you are serious about this industry.
Yeah, because you're a manager, you got to pay. You got to pay. So if they see that you're willing to pay the manager, then they know you're serious about your career. So,
absolutely.
Exactly. So give me real quickly, because you know you got to go. You're a busy man. Give me 3 words that inspire and empower you.
Wow.
Yeah, I always get everybody with this.
Love. Consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And evolution.
All right. Don't go nowhere.
Love, consciousness, and evolution.
Okay, don't go
nowhere. Those what inspire me.
Yeah.
I'm an artistic and creative person just like you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that in order to continue to create, we have to make sure we have a recreation as well.
Yeah.
We can't keep working. We'll burn ourselves out.
Yeah.
So I'm telling all artists out there, all models out there, take time when it comes to self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care is not just, beautifying your face and, just working out and stuff like that. Because a lot of people like to take care of the outer, but they forget the inner person. The inner person is first, because when you take care of the inner person, then everything else falls into place. Everything else is gravy.
Yeah.
Because what that means is that you're doing everything else from a genuine place.
Yeah.
But you have to start with the person within.
Yes.
So yeah, just understand that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me today. I know
baby,
I'll let you go, but
this is a conversation that has been in the making for years. And you got to come on my show.
Yeah, I do. You
know you got to come on our show, because we got to do a greatest hits.
I'm there.
Of the Queen of Shade.
I got more comments.
We got to play your songs.
I got more.
We got to do that. So I know I was able to do it for Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Enos, I was able, because he was our first gentleman of music when we started the agency, and so we had a chance to do it for him. We had a chance to do it for Coaching Forward.
Yeah.
And
he
so
won a lot of awards while he
was
with you. He won a lot of awards while he was with you.
Yeah, Colton was never with us. I always wanted him to be.
I'm talking about Tony Enos.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, he did. And so, we was very happy to be instrumental in getting his first debut album off the ground.
Yeah.
So I was just very happy with that. But and I just love his evolution too. But we'll talk about that out offline.
Yeah, later.
But baby, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm so grateful to the creator of the Omniverse for your existence and for your contribution to humanity.
Thank you.
Continue to walk in your assignment. Continue to be the inspiration and the shaman that you are. Because what you're doing is that you are inspiring other members of the trans and intersex community to operate and walk in their divine purpose in that level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You all are more than just drag queens and caricatures.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The dressing up and everything, these are just avenues to get your attention.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
As RuPaul says so eloquently, baby, you was born naked, everything else is drag.
Yes. Don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Miko Evans. Meek Productions Incorporated out of Atlanta, Georgia. Serious inquiries only if you are seeking representation. Don't go anywhere. Say bye to the people, but don't go anywhere.
Love you all. See you all online.
So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Wanna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my thing down. I'll have you wanting my stilettos by the time I turn around. Turn that TV down.